Hello, in this video I will show how to draw in C++ a letter A on a console window or into a file. Actually I'm gonna draw it into a stream, which means that it could be a file stream, output stream or string stream, any stream basically. So it's a quite general function. So this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna draw, so it's gonna be kind of vector graphics, meaning that you can draw any shape A. It could be like this kind of A, or it could be a wide A like this. It could be a small A, wide small A like this, or very narrow A like this. Okay, or very big A like this. That's what we are gonna do at the end of this lesson. We are able to do this at the end of the lesson, and let's start. I will close this window. So here we go. To do this we will create a function which will draw this A. So I will start typing the function straight away. Let's call it draw A. And this function is gonna take input parameters. The first one will be the output stream, and I will take a reference to the stream. Well, why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it so that this is a very general function. So as I said at the beginning of this video, that for example file is a stream, and output, drawing on a black output window, that's also a stream. That we are talking about stream then, and also string stream. So we can draw that A to many different places. So I think it's a good idea. So and then, so this is where we're gonna draw the A, and then we're gonna have here the second parameter will be a size. I'm just adjusting this. The second parameter will be a double size. This is going to be the size of the A. This is the zooming size. So when we set this one bigger, the width and the height of the A will increase at the same time. So it keeps the shape of the A. This is that size. And then we're going to have an height, and this is going to be a this is going to be the height of the A in characters. Then we're going to have a width. I always do this wrong way. How does it go? Width D. Yeah, that's right. And this is going to be the width of the A in characters. Okay, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to initialize them straight away to certain values. Let's say that the height, initially we want the height of 30, and initially we want to have a width of, let's say, 60. So obviously the width, this is the total width of the A, by the way, and this is the height, and so, and then we're gonna have more of these. We're gonna have const character render character. So this is gonna be the character we're gonna use to draw the A. Let's start, for example, with a capital O, for example. It could be an asterisk or whatever, and we can easily change it. And then we have then we also gonna give as a parameter this render empty character. So we can do some nice things. We can decide what is the empty. Obviously normally it's gonna be a space, but we can change it easily like a dash if we want, like this. But we will see when this is ready how it looks like. So let's start now. And okay, first of all, let's check that the input values are correct, because there's no point drawing empty stuff. So let's check here that if the size is less or equal than 0. Okay, if we want the letter which size is less or equal to 0, obviously we're not going to throw anything, and so it's gonna be we're gonna say that stream, we're gonna draw just a we're gonna just draw a new line, and we're not gonna draw anything, just a new line. So empty, we're gonna throw empty, and then we just return from the function. But there are other things we need to check as well. So also if the height is less or equal than 0, there's no point to draw. Also if the width is less or equal than 0, there's no point even trying to width it is not, no, how does it go? Width, something is wrong. How does it go? Width, yeah, this was wrong. This one, I think this is width, this is correct, and this is, I'm not English, so it still might be wrong, but please leave me a comment on if this is still wrong. Okay, so now it's looking much better. Okay, and then okay, before I continue, let me first show the plan here. So here is the plan what we're gonna do. So here is a simple A. Obviously it doesn't look very nice here because it's so small, and but anyway we get the picture from here. So this is how we're gonna draw the A. So we're gonna draw first this left line here, from here all the way to here, and after we have drawn this line here, then we're gonna draw symmetrically exactly the same line than this one. So we're gonna make a copy of this line, and we're gonna draw it exactly like that here. And the last thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna draw this middle line here. So the central point is important here because we're gonna do calculations in regards of this one. So the central position is important point here. So the width of the A divided by 2 will be the center position here. So let's continue now here. Okay, so the height, the modified height will be height multiplied by size. The width will be width multiplied by size. And why is this? Well, because this size, if this is 1, then we're gonna keep this ratio. But because this is zooming things, so if this size is like 2, for example, we will multiply this one and this one by 2. So this size can change this one and this one, but using the same ratio. We're not going to change the ratio. So this is going to be the ratio of the A. So the size is only changing the whole size of the A, and this is how we can do it. Here we're changing it possibly. So then we're going to say that if height is less or equal than 1, or this width is less or equal than 1 after this modification. So these are going to be the final height and width. So now we will check that if they are 1 or less than 1, we will be drawing actually if they are 0, okay, they are actually gonna be, because if they are 0 it would already stop here, the whole thing. So they're actually gonna be they're gonna be one here practically speaking. Yeah, they both need to be like one here, isn't it? But just in case I put here less or equal. So in this case, if they are one, if the height and width is one, we will just draw a one character. So I'm just drawing here this render character once, and then new line, and then finish the function. There's nothing to draw. It's so small that we are just drawing one of these characters. It doesn't look but it's not our responsibility to say that it's too small. It's just so small that it doesn't even look But anyway, let's do it like that. So then we're gonna say that then we're gonna create an empty line, because the logic here, what we're gonna use is that here we start from here, and then we start drawing downwards from here. So the first line here is I mean all of the lines, how it goes, that we will first have a totally empty line string with empty characters, and then we will just add the a character here. So for example, when we are drawing this line here, we will first have only empty characters on this line, and then we will add this O to here and the O here. That's what we are doing here. So we will first create the empty line. So const string, let's call it empty line, because it is empty line. And let's create an empty line of width plus 1 characters. So width, we need at least width, but I'm gonna put plus 1 just in case, because it's possible that we sometimes go over that. So just in case that we definitely have enough space, I will put plus 1 here, and then we're gonna fill up this. So this is how many characters this string is gonna have, and we're gonna fill up each of them with this empty character. So for example, space. So it's gonna just put width plus 1 spaces to this string. And okay, now let's next calculate this the central point, because this is important. We're gonna use it a lot here. So let's calculate this pivot point, this central point of A. It's gonna be const integer x central position. That's gonna be simple. It's gonna be width divided by 2.0. So that's it. So this needs to be yeah, I just put a double here. It's gonna be a double calculation here, and at the end of and then we'll go back to integer here. Okay, and now let's start drawing this. Oh, okay, and the reason why I put const, because we don't need to change these things. We're just gonna copy them, the values. So I'm just making sure that nobody can change these. That's why const. So next let's start drawing the lines from the top. Starting from the top, we're gonna draw this line first, then we're gonna draw this one, and so on, and lastly we're gonna draw this line here. And each of the lines have width amount of characters. Like in this example, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. Each line has 8 characters, and mostly spaces. So space, 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 O, space, space, space. So let's start doing this. Let's create a for loop here. So integer, let's call it row. So row is going from the top to the bottom. We start from height. We start from height all the way to the 0. and then we're going to say minus row. So this is the loop which runs from the first value is the height. So this is the first, and it goes down, and this is 0, this one, all the way to 0. So what are we gonna do here? So first we need to make a copy of that empty string. Empty line. Let's call it line. So this is gonna be the line which we will be drawing. So I'm gonna initialize it to by this empty line. So now this line it starts with the empty, totally empty line, and then we will start adding those characters, A characters there. These things we add there. So we are still talking about this line now. When we start, we go from here. So we need to put this here first. Okay, so we're gonna do that now. It's gonna be line, and X. Ouch! I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast. Going too fast here. Okay, now we need some. Before we continue from here, sorry, we need to think about the maths behind this. Thing, and because this is going to be a mathematical calculation, it's going to be vector graphics, because we want to have any shape of A. So we need to know, mathematically speaking, how it's going to go. So we need to have this line. We need to have the formula for this line next. What is the formula for this line? And let's see now the maths behind this. For this I created already half of it. So this is the first half of that A. So what we want here is, do I have the color here? Yeah, we want this line here. What am I doing? Pencil. Let me make it a little bit thicker. That one. Okay, so we want to draw this line here. I mean, we want to have the formula for this line, the mathematical formula. So the way it goes is that so this section here is the width of this one, and this section here is the height. Let's call it h. And this is so let's think this as a coordinate where this one here is 0 0 0 0, like in mathematical coordinate system. So this is 0 0, this place here, and this place here is W h. So this is a W h point here. W h. So as we know from the maths, I think this is college maths or something like that. Because it goes through the 0 0, so the formula will be, and if we think that so the formula will be that the y coordinate, well, the y coordinate is this direction. This is y coordinates, and this direction is x. So the y will be that will be height, the length of this one, divided by the length of this x coordinate, divided by w, multiplied by x. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate it. We know h and we know w. Okay, so if we want to know the y for certain x, this is how we get it. But actually in this situation what we want actually x, because we know that y is going from the height to the 0. That's what we are doing. Y is, the first y value will be height, and the last one will be 0 here. So we want actually another way around. We want to know what is x when we know y. So we have to solve x from this formula, and that will be using the maths. We know that it will be, we will just first multiply by w, so we will get w, then we will divide by h, so we will get w divided by h multiplied by y. So this is how it goes. It just they go around this one, and if we want to know x, if we know y and we want to know after that x, this is how we know it. So this is the formula we have. This is the final formula we need here. So when we know y, this is going to be the corresponding x. For example, let's say that we are talking about this point here. So we know this y here. So the corresponding x, this one here, the exact value for this in decimal numbers will be, we get it from here. This would be the x here. The x will be here, and we get it from this formula. So that's what I'm doing here. Next, I'm doing it here. So we're calculating the x here. So const, the x coordinate will be the center position. Let's go back here. Why did I take center position? Because the width of this, the width is the center position. The width of this is the same as the center position. So center position divided by, and the height will be just the height. And then we need to multiply this one by the y, and multiplied by this y, and the y will be this row, like that. Right. So this is how we know where the x will be. When we know this y, this is the y, this is how we get the x, and const integer. Okay, again we are not going to change this x, so that's why I put const here. So now let's put this character over there, the render character. So I'm gonna say this line, at this point we will set to render character. Okay, so now this one, if it works correctly, it should print where are we? It should, I'll take the other one. It should print this one, this line here now. So let's start testing this now. Let's try to print this now. And there's one thing missing. We need to. There's one thing missing here, which is that we just need to print this thing. We haven't yet printed it. That's a good idea. We have the line now formed here, and we will print it here after this stream, and just we are saying line. We print that string there, and then we will put end line there, new line. Now let's call this function from the main. Let's use cout. Let's print it to the console window, and it's asking the size. Let's put 1.0. We will not zoom anything, and then I will just put maybe here a new line also. Okay, hopefully I didn't make any errors. So to compile, and let's run this program. Oh, it's pretty well working already. It went correctly. So this will be the left part of the A. Very good, very good. It was successful. There was no errors. So next we need to print this right side of this. The right side. So how are we gonna do that? Well, let's go and see from the picture. What is a good logic here? Well, we're gonna just, as I said at the beginning, we're gonna just now copy this line which is already here, and we're gonna just draw it here. We're gonna draw a clone of this one, but we're gonna mirror it according to the central position. So we're gonna draw that one here. So so the question is that what is the position? Let's take a notepad and see how it goes. Okay, let's see. So it's gonna be, so this is X. So let's for example think about, okay, let's think about this one, for example, this dot here. So where is this dot gonna be? What is the location of this dot? Well, it's gonna be this X. So it's gonna be X plus something. Well, it's gonna be this. We need, oh, ouch, like that. So we're gonna need this section twice. So we're gonna need this section, because we know what is this section, and so we're just gonna put two of them. There's another one here. So 2 times this one brings here. So what is this section now? Well, it's gonna be the central position. I will copy it from here. Central position. It's gonna be that central position minus that X. That's what it is. So the length of this one will be central position minus this X. Okay, and we need 2 of them. So the total will be 2 times, and in the brackets we're gonna put this one. Okay, so this brings us from here to here, and then we're gonna, so this is gonna be the position of this one here. Okay, I'll copy this and put it here. And so this is going to be the index of that position, and then we're going to set it to render char here. So now I'm going to check if this works. I'm going to compile this. And well, it works pretty well. So yeah, so far so good. So it works very well here. So next we need to print the middle line from here, the A middle line here. So let's do that. So what is the logic behind this? Let's go and see from the picture. So we need to print now. So let's say that the A is, so we need to print these dots here. Okay, so if this, let's say that this is the outer line, the left line of the A, and this is the right line of the A, so we need to print these middle dots here. Okay, so how do we do this? It will be how it will be obviously we start doing that from the position which is which is x plus 1 is the position, because this one here is x plus 1, and how many the count will be how many we need to print. So this is the first one, and how many we need to print will be that will be a okay, it will be now the length of it will be this central position minus this x. For example, in this case, if we do central position minus this x, that will be 0, 1, 2, 3. That will be 3 minus 1, which is 2, which is correct. We need to print these 2 here, and then we're gonna so it's gonna be the same thing, this central position minus 2 minus x, and then we're gonna multiply by 2 because we have it on both sides, because we have also on this side we have this thing here. But as we can see, we can't take this one because we already printed here, so it's minus 1. So it's this one multiplied by 2 minus 1. Minus 1 because we don't need to print this one. This is already here. So that's what it's gonna be. And how do we print a line? How do we fill this string with the characters? With these, in this example, with these 3 characters. Oops. So how do we fill this string with these 3 characters? Well, there is a function called fill in C++ library. So, and that's gonna come from algorithms. So we put here, we include these algorithms. It's gonna be fill n, and so then we're gonna fill this string here. So line, we start from the beginning. So this is using the iterators. We're using the iterators. So the first iterator begin plus x plus 1, because plus x plus 1, because this was the first dot we need to print. This one here is x plus 1. So beginning x plus 1 is the beginning of the fill, and then how many we need to print. That was a this one, and then lastly we will say that which one we want to use to fill. It's this one. Okay. So now now it should, in principle, it should print the middle line, and let's see if it works. Ouch, it didn't work because I forgot. It filled all of the lines, but sorry. Sorry for this. Okay, we don't want to fill all of them. We want to only fill one of them. So let's put the condition here that we only print this line if the row is height divided by 3. So this means that it will only print it at the very end. So if I now compile it, so there it is. There is the A. Okay, so it's looking good now already, but it's still not perfect. We will a little bit do a couple of things, because there are a couple of issues here which has not been solved yet, and one of them is that there are some minor issues here we need to solve. One of the things is that I already actually tested one thing here, that I'll okay, by the way, now we can change the size. Let's change a little bit. Let's put 12 and for example 20. Oh well, didn't do exactly what I was thinking. It's probably because this code is still not perfect, so let's first make it right. But that's the starting point. There are some issues here which needs to be fixed. So first of all, let's start making the code have a better structure here. Let's go line by line here. So okay, here first of all, the result of this one will be because we are doing height, which is integer, size is double, so this is going to be double. We are putting double to integer, so let's just say here static cast. Let's cast it to integer, so the compiler doesn't warn about that, because this is fine for us. But let's just do it like that, so that's fine. And then next thing we need to do here is that we're gonna have the same thing here, static cast integer, so we're just converting it back to integer like this, so the compiler doesn't complain, because this is going to be a double, so we are putting double to an integer, so the compiler is going to give a warning. But now we are telling that we know what we are doing, that we want to turn it to integer actually. So, and then next place will be here. This calculation will be a double, because one of them is double. Which one it is? Central position divided by height. Aha. I think there's a mistake there. Somewhere there. Yes, this height is, by the way, this is wrong, this height. Because there was actually a mistake here, because we are dividing integer by integer, which will not give accurate results. We need to do a double calculation, so one of them must be double, so we are doing double calculation, so one of them needs to be double. But there's a better way to make it double. We can do the static cast here, static cast like that. So now this is correct here, and all of this needs to be finally, all of this will be double, but it needs to be turned to an integer. So I'm gonna put here static cast integer, all of that, like that. Okay. So now that's pretty fine now. So next thing we're gonna do is that okay, here here what we need to do here is that, because if we are throwing very small a, we don't want to throw this place, because it might go to the bottom of the a. So if we are throwing a very small a, then we're going to use a different rule here. So Second. Just a second. Okay. How do I need to do this? How do I need to do this? If a okay, if the height if the height is less or equal than 2, and okay, I have to think about this. I think I will create a new video. I stopped it. This has already been like 20 minutes, and so I will create another video and continue from there. I have something to think about here. I will think about this and come back to this. So let's see in the next video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.